Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your today's host, Herleen Kaur. As we all know that nation comes first no matter what comes your way, and good soldiers are defined by what they can endure and not by what they can inflict. This proverb goes rightly with our legendary Kargil hero, Captain Akhilesh Saxena sir, who has showcased the true qualities of a leader, strategic planning, teamwork, during the most difficult phase of his life, that is the battlefield of Kargil War. Currently, he is the Vice President of Tata Communications and working with the motivational speaking platform with his wife on inspiring mantras. Sir, I would like to know some details about the Kargil War.
Let me take you back 22 years, right, on a journey of Kargil wars. There are different peaks. There are different peaks which are going from Srinagar till Leh Ladakh, and they are all going through NH1. This NH1 is very important from the strategic perspective of India. This is called the neck of India because the entire supply line, entire ration, ammunition, stocking, everything for entire Leh Ladakh region goes through this road. And this is only open for 5 to 6 months. So if somebody is able to block this road, he can actually block all the supply for India, and really, entire Leh Ladakh will be isolated and which can be captured. It's an easy target. Now that was a larger game plan. So they captured all these peaks. And how they captured this peak, because both the countries on these peaks, they were winter vacated posts, right? Nobody was staying on these peaks during the winter month because the cost of maintaining troops on these peaks was very, very high. So both the armies used to come down during winter and then again used to go up in summer. But in 1998, once we come down, right, both the army came down, then Pakistan slowly started sending his troops in 2, 3, 4, and they have got thousands of troops captured all these hilly peaks. Now the situation is, enemy sitting on top, right? And in mountain warfare, anyone who is sitting on top is 20 times more powerful. You can think, right? Even if he'll throw a stone, there will be casualty. Second, they knew that Indian soldiers will only come through these routes. So they put mine all across. The temperature that time was going up to minus 28 to minus 42 degrees centigrade. So it was even difficult to breathe. Coming back to my situation, I just got posted to Kargil just after my marriage. And, when we reached there, when we reached Kargil, immediately there was a shelling on our jeep because they could see us. They were just sitting on top. And Tololing was the most difficult peak because Tololing is just next to the roadhead and enemy was sitting there. Any troops passing through the road, they were bringing artillery fire, they were bringing all small arm fire on these troops, right? So we were not even able to move our troops and our equipments. The 2-3 attacks on Tololings were already failed because the gradient was so high, it was going from 85 degree to 80 degree, right? So it was like a steep chadai. So very difficult to go through this. And as soon as we start our attack, enemy used to bring all the fire because he could see us and he was sitting on the top. We were not knowing about the location of the enemy or from where he is firing. So the chances of actually victory in this kind of attack was not even 2%. But then Indian Army has seen these kind of situation, and at any cost we need to protect the integrity of the country. So we were given this attack with 2 Rajputana rifle. I was leading this attack. I was also commanding the entire fire plant. So nearly 105 large guns, Bofors gun, they were with me. And we decided to use artillery very heavily in this attack because we knew that we will win or we will not come back. In fact, I told my Jawans that in a normal command and control, officers remain in middle. But in these kind of attack, we will lead it from the front. So if the first bullet comes, this will hit us rather than my team. That's kind of thing gives so much of josh. Not only me, I was fighting with Captain Vikram Batra, Captain Vijayan Thapar, Major Acharya, Major Adhikari, Major Vivek Gupta, and all of them, they were full of josh and inspiration. In fact, just before going for this attack, we were just having our tea, just to give you an incident. And somebody say, I don't know if this will be the last tea of our life because we never knew that we will come back or not. And Major Vivek Gupta, who was going to lead the attack, he said, no, tomorrow we will come back and then we will celebrate our victory. So that was the kind of josh. We started our attack on 13th of June. 12th night we started and continuously we kept fighting for the entire day. In fact, before going for the attack, we were just carrying our arms, ammunitions, bullets, grenades. We have taken out our food, we have taken out our water. You know why? Because there's a limited space. So we can only carry few things, right? And we thought that if we win, our food come, we can survive 2-3 days without food, without water. But in case we don't win and our ammunition finish, that's condition we don't want to come. So we just made this attack. We were just saying we will win at any cost, whatever happens. And there were casualties. Major Vivek Gupta died in the way when he was very close to bunker. But finally, we put the tricolor on Tololing. And I think that was the turning point for the entire Kargil war. Because Pakistan used to say, this is my fort, you cannot breach it at any cost, because every side there was a huge steep gradient. But finally we could do that and achieve that. In fact, they were so humiliated and they put so much of fire on us that after this defeat, that my supply line was totally cut. So we got the victory, but we were few guys who were on the top. We don't have any food. We were not having any water. We were fighting for continuously 2 days without any food or without any water, right? And there were 8 Jawans who were hit by different bullets. But we have to survive, right? Whatever he have to do. And as say, God always comes to your help. And we thought, if enemy was staying there for so many months, he must be keeping something to eat also. And we could find there was enemy kitchen, which was downhill on the other side. And then we decided that whatever happened, let's go there. Though enemy from the other peak, they were still firing at you. But we dashed for that. We picked something and we got some good halwa, Karachi ka halwa, we get some biryani, we get some dry fruits which they kept, and they were very confident that they will win and they will celebrate. And we got it back, all Jawans had it, and yeah, after 2-3 days we could get this victory. So that was the cost of victory. We lost Major Vivek Gupta, and that was the first attack, we get victory. My second attack was Hum and point 5140, which was actually led by Captain Vikram Batra. And third attack was Three Pimples area. This was another very, very difficult peak. And enemy was sitting again on top and he was continuously firing on us. We started this attack. Me, Major Vivek Gupta was in Tololing attack. Major Adhikari, Major Acharya, Captain Vijayan Thapar. And in fact, we lost 3 officers in this attack. I was hit by the bullets when we were fighting with the enemy. But finally we continued. In fact, I was bleeding from badly. I put some dressing on my hand and continuously fighting, because I didn't want my Jawans to know that their officers has been hit. So it was a difficult time, and I actually never knew that I will survive or not, but that was not important. The important thing on my mind is that we have to get the victory for our nation. And once we got the victory, I actually got unconscious.
Sir, I have read in an article wherein you have mentioned that those bullets are your rewards. Could you please tell us something about it?
I know. I think these are the biggest reward for me. When we pass out from IMA, right, when we are becoming officer, there is a Antim Pag. You cross this and you become an officer. There is an oath we all take. And the oath says, the honor, prestige and security of this country comes first, always and every time. The man we command comes next. Their welfare, their safety and comfort comes next. And my own comfort, safety and welfare comes last, always and every time. So our directions are very clear that for whatever happens, nation will always come first. And the day we are wearing a uniform, we are just training for just one day when we have to fight for our country, right? The entire training part is just for day when we have to defend our country and we have to attack enemy. So when I got this order, and in fact I was in Firozpur, I was just married for a month, as I told you earlier, and we got this order that we have to go to Kashmir, and that time we were not very sure that it's a full-fledged Pakistani attack or just some terrorists sitting on the top, but we knew something is going on. It was a moment of pride for me, because my first posting was at Peace and I was getting this chance to actually prove my worth for the day I'm wearing the uniform. So I was very excited, and then I've gone for this attack. And once we have said that we are ready to give our life, right? And in this war, enemy could just with his firing could just give us some injury. So we were ready to give our life, and I think they could take very small part of us. So I say it's a reward for us, and I always say that day we put the tricolor on these peaks, that's the biggest achievement of our life. And these bones, these some of these bullets, they are the mark of victory for us. So I always show it with pride. I'm not ashamed, I'm not guilt, and I feel that was ready to give my life for the country. They just took one part of it. So it's a medals for me.
ओ मेरा रोम रोम तेरा कर्जदार है, हमारी ये आजादी तेरी कर्जदार है। शुक्रिया 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 हो शुक्रिया।